For Louisiana versus all y'all, Jarrett Roser here today with rising senior Dutchtown linebacker Dickson Agu, one of the hottest names really around Louisiana the last few months. He's picked up a dozen offers since the end of his junior season and has had a chance to start making a lot of visits this spring. And so just kind of getting into some of that, what's worked so well for him to continue developing his game, what he's learned from some of these colleges so far, and what lies ahead. Dickson, what's going on, man? How are you doing?
Pretty good. How are you?
Pretty good, man. Just, watching some NBA playoffs in the background, getting ready for all y'all to get back to spring ball now that LSU's done with it and just kind of hit that next phase of the year.
Sounds great.
Take me through it. You pick up the first offer from Purdue in December and then Tulane's in January, and then it just keeps picking up steam. Louisiana Tech and the Cajuns in February, then 3 in March, 5 potentially and counting in April. And we haven't even gotten to spring ball and the camp circuit and everything. What's been going on?
Well, I feel like my name's just been getting out there. As you get more offers, more just start coming in because more coaches are saying what you bring to the table. It's like one coach likes what you do and they feel like it would fit their program. So they go and send off.
What have been some of the common things that you've heard from them as they tell you that they've taken notice of you and what they like about your game and what you're putting out there? What have been some of those aspects and attributes that the college coaches have mentioned?
The coaches have been saying they love my physicality, my ability to meet a running back in the hole, get out in space and cover. They like the versatility that I bring to the table.
I was going to say, I think when I watched your film, I noticed some of your quickness and fluidity. Your first highlight from your junior season, you're lined up a little bit back and stay in coverage and then read a pass and deflect it up in the air for an interception. But then you start seeing one after another. You really lay in the wood. And I mean, the momentum on these backs stops immediately, even if you just get your hands on them. It's pretty much a done deal. What are some of the things that you worked on to get to that point? I guess in both aspects, some of the things you do for your athleticism and your feet and whatnot, as well as the things that you've done to develop into such a physical force in the middle of that defense.
Well, it all starts with the weight room. The program that we have at Dutchtown, it gets you stronger. It builds mental toughness. Working on my explosiveness through these power cleans, it all translates onto the field. So like power cleaning is just like getting explosive, getting off a block and delivering a hit. So this defense that Coach Harold, our defensive coach, he built, it's about moving fast, reading the hole, and hitting it. So whenever you're playing with confidence and you're ready, you know what you're doing, it's all about just making the play.
Did you grow up predominantly playing a linebacker type role, or what were some of the positions you played from your earliest ages in football and then developing on to this point?
Well, Pee Wee, we're going to start there. I played defensive end, tight end. Then as we moved into middle school, I played some fullback, running back, linebacker, D-line. But as I moved into high school, I've been playing linebacker.
That first offer I mentioned, Purdue in December, and you talk about the nature of recruiting and how it can be a little bit of a domino effect once that first one or the first couple happen, the other schools start to see. Take me through that day that you hear from Purdue, just kind of what that conversation was like, what the emotions were like to have it get started with a Power 5 program.
Well, starting out, before that, there was a few colleges that came, but they never pulled the plug, off me. So Purdue coming in there, it was Coach Brum, the head coach, and Coach Biagi. He's now at Ole Miss. So he was there. He was talking about how he loved my game. He loved my academics. So then he finally said, how would you feel if we offered you? I said, that would be great. And then the head coach said, congratulations. At first, I didn't really understand what happened. Like, I was confused. Then he was like, you just got your first offer. And from there on, it was like more coaches just started following me. More coaches got in contact with me. And we're at where we're at now.
And you mentioned Coach Biagi down at Ole Miss now. That's one of the places you've had a chance to visit recently. And so you've already seen how some of this coaching movement can start to open up doors elsewhere. Recent visits I have you for are Oxford as well as Starkville out of Mississippi State a couple months back, over to Lafayette where your brother just finished his first year with the Cajuns, Louisiana Tech, Purdue and Indiana, and Tulane. And I may have missed some, but those are ones I know I'd seen pictures from. But what have you picked up through some of those travels and getting a chance to meet some more of these college coaches, see the facilities, see just kind of what the presentations and conversations look like? As you've really picked up speed with that, how has your perception of the recruiting process and how to handle it developed?
So as you go to the more schools, these Power 5 schools, they're going to have amazing facilities. It's going to be glitz and glamour. They're truly nice. But like as you get there, you want to talk to the staff. You want to see which staff is messing with you more, like which coaches feel like truly feel you would be an amazing fit for their program. And it's about liking how they run their program.
Did you grow up a big fan of a certain college program? Did you grow up, near Baton Rouge as like an LSU guy or a Southern guy, or did you have a favorite or not really?
I always love watching LSU. That's just the home team. Mm-hmm. So that would be a dream offer, but it's whatever. I'm just trying to find someone that feels like home to me.
Yeah. Do you have specific plans of additional places you're hoping to get to, whether it be for visits in the coming months or once camp season really opens up end of May, beginning of June, or then I guess when we get to some official visits, potentially even during the season on game days and whatnot?
Purdue will probably be an official visit that I'm scheduling soon. I want to get out to Mississippi State for a camp. LSU's camp is close, of course. So I want to get out there too.
How much have you heard from, I mentioned the Cajuns were one of those first few offers. How much you've heard from Justin, or there've been a few different guys the past couple of years that have picked up some Purdue offers, a couple of guys that are already up there, a couple of guys here right now, like Ricky over at Woodlawn who are committed to go. And so there's been a little bit of a run of Baton Rouge area, specifically guys heading up there. How much are you hearing some conversation of, hey, little bro, or hey, my guy, you need to come here and be a part of this?
So my brother at UL, I'm there all the time. Like I'm just around their culture. So it's just nice having a brother at UL. And then as far as Purdue, Roman Petrie out of U-High, he's committed. So he's always, checking on me. He's talking about what coaches are you talking to when I went on my unofficial visit. He was like, man, this place is special. You might want to come, go ahead and commit. Joking around with me.
Tell me a little bit about, I guess let's start with how long have you known Roman? How long have you guys had a good relationship? It seems like each kind of city area, all the guys end up getting to know each other, whether it's from, playing park ball as kids or somewhere along the line, crossing paths. How long have you known him and some of these other guys that, maybe aren't teammates at Dutchtown, but are other guys going through this process either a few months ago or at the same time as you?
Well, I've known Roman for, I'd say about almost a year now. So it's like, as my recruiting picked up, we just got to know each other more off of Twitter. Dylan's also been friends with them for a while, Dylan Sampson at Dutchtown. So as we talk more, it's just more of like, oh, someone that knows someone, and we all become interconnected.
It's a very small world in football and football recruiting. Y'all end up running into each other somewhere. And a guy that you've obviously known your whole life, Justin, take me through some of that dynamic of coming up right on his heels, and both being able to at this point do some great things in your young football careers, and just kind of what that probably competitive nature was like for y'all as kids.
So last year was my first year being able to actually play with them. I wasn't a true starter, but I got games started as a sophomore. So playing with them, that's always been fun. Like he makes a play, I'm hyped. We're talking to each other. So being able to do that again would be something special. And then he showed me the ropes as a D1 athlete himself. So he showed me what's acceptable, what's not acceptable, how you have to carry yourself. And that's really been projected on me as I am right now.
That's exactly what I was about to ask next, was just kind of as someone that went through some of this. I mean, it didn't blow up for him quite the same way that it is for you right now, but he's been through the figuring out what those next steps are going to look like. What have been some of his biggest pieces of advice of what you need to look at as you're having some of these conversations or visits or whatever the case may be?
He's always telling me, don't worry about too much about what, these guys have this in their facility. It's once you get to a certain school, you're going to get to a certain point where the facility is not going to matter as much. You're trying to find a place that's going to accept you, take you as a true person, care about you as a person, because that's where you're spending the next 4 years of your life or more. So you need a place that's going to help you as past football more into your career that can better you as a person.
When we talk about your well-rounded game and some of the attributes you bring to the field, extremely well-rounded student athlete as well with the 4.5 GPA. Where does that emphasis come from on the academic side for you? And I mean, really your siblings as well. Just kind of take me through the early emphasis on that and why it has been such a big focal point for you.
Well, ever since I was little, I just enjoyed getting good grades. Like, it made my parents proud. So I just continued to do it. But as I got into high school, it mattered more. So seeing all these athletes with like they're amazing athletes, but couldn't go a certain place because of their grades, it made me realize like this academic, it matters. Like just as much as you're a good athlete, you have to be an amazing person in the classroom. So that rubbed off on me, and it made me push myself more to get more honors classes, more AP classes, and it made me a better student and a better person.
No doubt, man. That's a phenomenal perspective. What have been some of your favorite classes in high school, and what have been maybe some of the most challenging that you've had to kind of, it didn't come as naturally, but you had to find your way?
This past semester was AP US History. I really enjoyed the class, but it was something that you had to make sure you stayed on top of. It was a lot of work at times. But my favorite would probably have to have been biology. I enjoyed the study of like human life, human anatomy.
Nice. Do you know what you want to major in college yet? Do you have that narrowed down, whether it's something super specific or a couple different options?
Yes, sir. I wanna major in pre-med or life sciences because I want to be a surgeon when I grow up.
When did you come to that realization that outside of sports that being a surgeon or being in the medical field was something you were interested in pursuing?
Well, my mother is a doctor in internal medicine. So ever since I was little, she used to tell me about how much fun she used to have at work, how much she enjoys work. So that's been on me since I was little. And as I'm growing up and getting into classes in high school, I realized I also enjoy it.
That's awesome. Anything else about you that maybe people don't necessarily know, whether it be, I mean, college coaches that you hope maybe stumble across this and can learn a little bit more about you, or fan bases or whoever that, you know, outside of a great GPA and a great game, this is a little bit more about Dickson?
Well, I really do enjoy like the attention that I get like from these colleges. It really feels nice, but at the end of the day, you want a place that's gonna accept you as a whole, no matter, because the college coaches are gonna tell you this, that, but you got to find somewhere that means something to you, something of value. And as I go on, I wanna evaluate more academically schools that will help me in the future compared to just good schools at football.
No doubt. If you're not working out or practicing or studying or something football or school related, what are you doing? What's another hobby that you may have?
We're always going to the court playing basketball. I used to play basketball, but I stopped my freshman year to focus on football. But every time we get a chance in the group chat, they're texting, who's trying to hoop? Where we going? So that's just the passion of mine, basketball. I really enjoy the sport.
Good deal, man. Well, Dickson, I certainly appreciate it, man. Getting a chance to finally link up and talk about some of your, you know, recent success and recent opportunities presenting themselves. It's been a pleasure to hear a little bit more about you.
Thanks for having me.
You got it. Again, he's Dickson Agu, a rising senior linebacker at Dutchtown, has picked up those 12 offers, has the fantastic GPA, got big brother in his ear saying maybe Lafayette's the spot, but he's got a lot of options that he's still just kind of having fall into place and weighing what all those look like. And for Louisiana versus all y'all, Jarrett Roser.